Women are attracted to these 5 habits of men in 1 minute. In every corner of the world, across cultures and generations, one question has quietly lived in the minds of many men. What truly attracts women? Is it appearance, money, confidence, or something deeper that cannot be seen at first glance? While people often assume attraction is complicated, the truth is surprisingly simple. Attraction is not always about grand gestures or perfection. It often begins in small, natural habits that reveal a man's personality, emotional depth, and authenticity. There are certain subtle qualities, often unnoticed by men themselves, that can create a powerful impression on a woman, sometimes within just a minute. It begins with presence, not the kind of presence that demands attention, but the kind that naturally draws it. A man who carries himself with quiet confidence, who does not constantly seek validation, often becomes intriguing. Women tend to notice how a man behaves when he's not trying to impress. When a man is comfortable in his own skin, when he speaks without desperation and listens without distraction, it creates a sense of calm strength. This kind of presence communicates that he values himself, and in doing so, he sets a tone for how others should value him too. One of the most subtle yet powerful habits is the way a man looks at a woman. Eye contact, when genuine and respectful, carries emotion that words often fail to express. A fleeting glance filled with curiosity, warmth, or admiration can create a connection that lingers far beyond the moment. It is not about staring or making someone uncomfortable, but about that brief, natural exchange of attention that says, "I see you." In that instant, something unspoken is shared, and often that is enough to spark interest. Equally important is the ability to remain authentic without trying too hard. Many men believe that constantly trying to impress a woman through compliments, attention, or exaggerated behavior is the key to attraction. However, the opposite is often true. When a man does not chase validation, when he does not mold himself into what he thinks someone else wants, he becomes more appealing. Authenticity is rare, and rarity is attractive. A man who is genuine, who doesn't pretend or overperform, creates a sense of trust. Women often feel more comfortable around someone who is real rather than someone who is trying to be perfect. Another deeply attractive habit lies in how a man presents himself. This is not about expensive clothes or following trends, but about effort and self-respect. A man who dresses neatly, maintains hygiene, and takes care of his appearance sends a silent message. He values himself. That message extends outward. It shows discipline, awareness, and pride in who he is. Whether it's a well-fitted shirt, clean shoes, or simply a sense of order in his appearance, these small details contribute to a larger impression. Women often notice these things quickly, and they form an opinion within moments. But beyond appearance and behavior, what truly leaves a lasting impression is emotional intelligence. A man who knows when to be serious and when to bring lightness into a moment holds a unique charm. Humor, when used thoughtfully, can transform an ordinary interaction into a memorable one. It is not about being a comedian or constantly joking, but about having the ability to make someone smile when they least expect it. A man who can ease tension, who can turn an awkward moment into a comfortable one, becomes someone people naturally want to be around. Laughter creates connection, and connection builds attraction. Kindness, however, remains one of the most powerful and underrated traits. The way a man treats others, especially those from whom he has nothing to gain, reveals his true character. A man who is respectful, who shows empathy, who offers help without expecting anything in return, carries a quiet strength that is deeply attractive. Women often observe how a man interacts with waiters, strangers, friends, and family. These moments, though small, speak volumes. They reveal whether his kindness is genuine or conditional. There is also something undeniably appealing about a man who has direction. Not necessarily someone who has everything figured out, but someone who is moving forward, who has goals, who is building something in his life. Ambition, when grounded in purpose rather than ego, becomes magnetic. It shows that a man is not just drifting through life, but is actively shaping it. This creates a sense of stability and vision, qualities that naturally draw people closer. Attraction, in its truest form, is not about manipulation or strategy. It's about alignment between who a person is and how they express it. Women are not merely attracted to actions, they are attracted to the intention behind those actions. A kind gesture feels different when it's genuine, a compliment feels different when it's sincere, a smile feels different when it comes from a place of warmth rather than expectation. What often surprises many is how quickly these impressions form. Within a minute, a woman can sense confidence or insecurity, authenticity or pretense, warmth or indifference. This doesn't mean judgments are always final, but first impressions do carry weight, and those impressions are rarely built on words alone. They're shaped by energy, behavior, and subtle cues. In the end, the habits that attract women are not tricks to be learned, but qualities to be lived. They are reflections of a man's inner world, his confidence, his respect for himself and others, his ability to connect without forcing it. When a man focuses on becoming better rather than appearing better, attraction follows naturally. Because the truth is simple. What attracts deeply is not perfection, but presence, not effort, but authenticity, not noise, but quiet strength. And often it takes less than a minute for someone to feel the difference.